Stephen Shields Radio Show.
Right. Wisdom, how are we? And welcome everyone on the Stephen Shield Radio Show. Today there was a problem with Optus. You know, the telecommunications service is not willing to refund any money that customers lost. Now, the CEO, Kelly Bayer Rosemarin, has basically, said that there is an outage and, to not refund any customers their hard-earned money against the telecommunications giant. Now, this is the second time that Optus has had a disaster ahead. You remember last, it was, last time when Optus got hacked. It was not good when these data breach happened. When Optus got hacked this year, okay, and then you got to think about, well, how come how come that such a huge telecommunication service gets hacked? There is apparently now a class action lawsuit against Optus for this. This is the second time that Optus have pissed off customers who are paying their hard-earned money for their internet service, and for it to go down for about 11 hours, 12 hours because of an outage. I don't understand. I mean, I guess an outage can happen with any telecommunications service, but I think that if all this could be I think America, they have Verizon or AT&T. You guys know what I'm talking about. Uh, it's very frustrating for small businesses who have to rely on these tech giants in order to do business, and then having to say to customers, well, our FPOST is down. Oh, and then, there's certain people in society saying that we need to be a cashless society. Now, I'm a bit confused about this because today, as I'm recording the podcast, you have Optus, where they basically went down. They had a power outage. Businesses have to rely on them. And all of a sudden, the CEO is virtually saying that they're not going to refund any money. Now, this is just plain disgusting. People, Kelly Bayer Rosemarin, the CEO of Optus, needs to be doing something uh, about this problem with the telecommunications service, because this is the second time this has happened, a disaster. As you know, Optus did get hacked. I can remember this when the was I think 6 months ago. And then you wonder, well, who can we trust in these services out there? Because having the internet and BN, your mobile phone now is deemed an essential service. You can't, well, you have to have it. You can't live without it unless you're really old fashioned and use a handheld CD player or a cassette recorder. Some people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like we put so much trust into uh, mobile phone data, and it's basically getting sold to third-party advertisers. And no wonder why you get bombarded with the latest offers from the telecommunication services asking you to upgrade. Like I can, recall traveling, right? And then, oh, you're in the middle of nowhere, and then you get a text message from Optus or whoever you have asking you for do you want to upgrade your service? Now, I how the hell does that happen? You're in the middle of nowhere. You could be. This has happened, you know, to me. When you're on a cruise ship, okay, and then you get a text message out of the blue. Oh, upgrade to the latest iPhone 12, whatever. Trade in, save, blah blah blah, and I'm like, for fuck's sakes. Do you really think I'd want to be bothered on when you go on a holiday and you're chilling out, sunbaking, and for a telco to ask you about, should you upgrade the latest and greatest product? I mean, I'm to the point now where I'm fed up of telecommunications services not um not telling the truth, ripping people off, taking advantage of people. Okay, making life hard, not helping people during the the times of, say, people going through financial hardship. The telcos that they seem to not want to help people out there. And for me, it's like, how do we, think about, well, it's to me it's just crazy. It really is just crazy. You know, I think that time for us to wake up and say, hey, we need to stand up for our rights out there. And just, I guess, become aware that enough's enough. I've said it quite a fair bit on my show about how, you know, we need these essential items out there, and yet the government want to regulate everything. They want to take advantage of everyone. They want to, just want more money from essential items. Now, I know that inflation now, from when the Reserve Bank of Australia, as I checked today, they've lifted the interest rate to 4.35%. Now, I don't know how this can come down to 2 to 3% of inflation, uh, but that's obviously the mortgage rate, of course. it has gone down from 5.4% to 4.35% is what I can see today, checking the Reserve Bank of Australia. You will always find that the Australian dollar is weak against the US dollar as well. You know that. But I've said it before, like if you look on the Reserve Bank of Australia's website, you can see that inflation was always around. And there's been times in the, you know, years that inflation has gone up and down. Like, if inflation can get to about 3.5% by Christmas, that may make it easy. But this is what I don't understand, guys. Like, you got the news media complaining about inflation. Obviously, I like to talk about this stuff because it's fascinating. But yet they're building more shopping centres, and yet the whole news media is saying that, oh, we're in a recession at this time, but yet they still keep building shopping centres. Now, I don't understand it. Obviously, yes, it's hit small businesses very hard. Even this outage from Optus, who have to rely on FPOS terminals, and they've went for an alternative of using cash. Now, I've said cash is always the best. We should always be using our cash. Cash is king, because I don't understand why if you get rid of cash, you're fucking around with the economy and people's lives. Because what happens if your FPOS terminal is down? And this even hit some hospitals, mental health facilities, healthcare facilities that have to rely on Optus. Now, you ask that question, and this is healthcare when they need it. It's essential. For me, that you've got to wonder, well, the Reserve Bank of Australia is like, oh yeah, we think going to cashless society is great, but I just think it's another form of control. Like, there's nothing more frustrating than, say, you go to a sporting event, Kudos Bank Arena, Accor Stadium, all cashless, because they said, because of COVID, we're going to go cashless society, because the virus is going to spread. And speaking of COVID too, there's another strain making its way for Christmas again. The Christmas run of COVID seems to like to come around during the Christmas holidays. Fuck. The the latest booster vaccines, they don't have protection against these variant. And um speaking of variant as well, I think that, like, whenever you check what the symptoms are, it's just like the other strains of the virus. I mean, according to Body and Soul, there's what they call COVID toes or something affecting the feet. Now, I'm not a professor or an epidemiologist, but they can obviously have more information about that. But what I'm saying is, the vaccines that the Australian government and all governments heavily invested in turned out to be shit. It's like, well, how come we don't have the right and freedom of speech to speak up against the stupidity that is going on? You see, when Donald Trump was president, I always found that everything's gas prices were much cheaper, utilities were cheaper, things were just cheaper in general, and it was just better. Now, since Joe Biden, Albo, who's always going overseas all the time, he's gone to China, things just go up in price. Supply and demand is one. There's another, thing out there called deflation, where everything just really goes down in price. There is one possibility that, now I'm not an economist, if the Reserve Bank of Australia put the interest rates up high, that stops the supply of demand of goods and services, so they lower the prices. Again, that's just an opinion. Take 20 cents off the petrol prices, and the politicians, they'll still be making their money, but it'll be much easier for us. They're still going to get what they want. I think too, telecommunications services should be having fairer prices and be letting people out there have a right, because the telecommunications services have been, well, ripping people off for years, and they don't care. And there's nothing worse when you're paying for your telco provider and they're giving you a very shit service. And you know how upsetting and frustrating that is when you are in the middle of uploading content and then the Wi-Fi is shit. Fuck. Like, I can remember with ADSL2 internet. Oh god, that was terrible. Horrible. I can remember. But it's like, well, how come? How come? But this is the thing. It's all control with NBN. I mean, I can remember when this NBN was first being talked about. Yeah, I'd say it's very good. It's much better than the ADSL2. Certainly more quicker, but it was rolled out in such a slow darn way. Oh, mate. And from Telstra especially, like, you think, well, how much more do you know, these greedy bastards want? And to give a crap service out there. Now, that's not fair. That's un-Australian, and enough's enough. Enough is enough with Telstra, Optus, Vodafone. PPG. Who else is out there? Maysim. List goes on and on and on. I mean, you have a right as a customer to be treated with respect, to be given a good service, to have help when you need it, not to be getting ripped off and taken advantage of, and then in secrecy, the telcos just mucking you around just so they can make more money out of you. And they do this. Trust me, they will try to do this to people. And I'm fed up. I am fed up. Something's got to change. Something has got to change. In the world of technology. But it leads me to my next thing about today's episode, where I it goes to show you that the tech companies out there, like Twitter, used to be very left. It's called X now. It just used to be a very boring place where it was just boring as fuck to be on Twitter. It was just not exciting anymore to have a Twitter account. I didn't even use it for a while until really recently just started posting again on X, which is great. It's so much of a better place now than it was previously. Like, I feel there's more freedom, speech, because there's nothing worse when you post in, say, a Discord group and then they take it down for no reason because they're a bunch of lefties, and as you know what the lefties do, if they don't like the wording, they like to take it down. Um, and it does get quite frustrating. I know I tried to use Quora and Reddit. Again, constantly just taking my stuff down, and I'm like, well, what is this? It's shit, and I'm not going to waste my time with shit as well. It's like data now is so valuable. Data is more valuable than any form of currency out there. And it's like, banking, for instance. Banks had problems today with people, Optus, having to do banking. But yet the banks want to start closing branches down. And it's like, why? Why should the banks make people, go online? Even the bank too can get hacked. The businesses like these big, corporation telecommunication services basically, you know, got so much information about customer, personal information about, uh, who you are, etc., etc., and yet if the company healthcare provider gets hacked, we're fucked. And that's why data now is one of the most valuable thing, more valuable than any money. And what streaming services are doing too is they're selling your information to third party advertisers. And with that, that's why you get bombarded with advertising, spam, scammers, cold calls, cold emails, text messages out of the blue. Or if you do online shopping, the same problem. And there's nothing worse when you have a corporation sending you all the latest offers and junk, and then you're in reality, you just get fed up because we're all fed up with it. We're all fed up as customers. We need to be made aware that, hey, this is not cool. Streaming services as well. Slowly introducing advertising for a paid subscription. What the hell? I know with some of them you can pay cheaper plus you get the advertising. Or you pay the full price, so it covers the advertising. So you're watching the content, of course. But not everyone has the luxury to pay the full price for Netflix, so they go the cheaper option to get some ad. But I can't stand it when I'm trying to watch cricket and then I'm getting Harvey Norman ads. After every single fucking over, I'm getting the same ads from Harvey Norman. Ah, dear oh dear. NRL, not so much. They only play an ad when there's a stoppage. That's always been like that. But in cricket, like, it's actually best to go watch the cricket live in person. Um, yeah, I just go. I don't know where sports going now. It's all just becoming a mass media business. I feel that our sport, I don't know, sports these days. Speaking of sports, Afghanistan for the Cricket World Cup did very well against the Aussies when they were batting. They set a high target. Glenn Maxwell, wow, he hit a double century, 200. Despite the pain he pushed through, the struggle, the sweat, because he looked like he was exhausted out there on the field. To be able to pull off a win like that, it's just amazing. Basically, he led the team to a victory for Australia against Afghanistan. Double century. He hit the winning runs when it all seemed like it was going to end up in a problem. Glenn Maxwell won the game for Australia, and that's amazing. That really is amazing. I think that now is one of those times where we need to, yeah, show appreciation. And look at what is going ahead as well now. I think for me that despite all this problem with Optus, I just rather be happy. Just be happy and just think, you know what? If Optus is going to want to lose its reputation by pissing people off, let them. Because it goes to show that if they're not willing to compensate its customers for the outage, well, and there needs to be changes being made because we're all fed up. We're all fed up. We want it to be that we just want to make tech great again. Now think about that. Let's make tech great again. But yeah, that's the communications world, telecommunications service that we have to put up with in Australia. And what's next though? They want to start rolling out these fiber optic cable. Just to, say, just to want to make extra, you know, I, I'm really fed up. I'm sick of it, and change needs to happen. Sooner or later, life needs to move on. Small businesses need to keep the doors open for customers, not having to rely on their EFTPOS terminals, but instead start taking cash because cash is king. I have said it before, cash is king in this world. All right, the weather right now where I am, we got some rain today, which was good. Good to have some rain, water the plants, everything. Just nice to have a bit of rain. It's 18.8 degrees Celsius. Feels like 20.6 degrees Celsius. Low of 14 degrees Celsius, going to be a top of 27 degrees tomorrow. 0 to 1 millimeters of rain, partly cloudy tomorrow. Showers with storms predicted, a low of 14 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius. Friday, showers with storms predicted, a low of 15 degrees Celsius, top of 29 degrees Celsius, 0 to 3 millimeters of rain predicted. Friday, tomorrow 3 to 15 millimeters of rain. Saturday, sunny, partly cloudy, with some clouds, for low of 15 degrees Celsius, top of 33 degrees Celsius, another dry day. Sunday, sunny with showers, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 34 degrees Celsius. Sunny with showers predicted. Monday, cloudy, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 25 degrees Celsius. Tuesday, sunny with showers, a low of 15 degrees Celsius and a top of 28 degrees Celsius. 0 to 2 millimeters of rain predicted. Wednesday, sunny with showers, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 22 degrees Celsius, 0 to 9 millimeters of rain forecasted. So that's the issues that Australia needs to deal with, because, again, it's un-Australian what we are facing. I repeat it, it is un-Australian to have a service and not be given any freedom with that service of telecommunications. So I don't know. I really don't know. Guys, I've just published a new meditation music track for members plus subscribers on Insight Timer. Go ahead and listen to it and feel inspired as well to just take you off to that dream place. And yeah, go and listen to it as well. I'm on Insight Timer and always open to any feedback. I've really enjoyed my experience here, and the amount of time I've been here on Wisdom. It's it's actually my favorite uh, social audio app. And I tried quite a fair bit in the pandemic and the lockdown of social audio. Wisdom for me has been my go-to. It's actually, yeah, it's been amazing to have the Stephen Shields radio show on a social audio platform that's live, and you can hear it here before they go available on Spotify and wherever you can subscribe to the podcast as well, which would help. And if you could share any of your favorite episodes on your social media, that would be wonderful. Just hit 450 episodes. Come back from my hiatus. 6 months off just to regroup and recharge my batteries and just be here today. and know that, yeah, this I'm looking forward to, more great things happening here on Wisdom as much as this platform does grow to the point where, yeah, it can one day be a competitor of Clubhouse and say a big give Clubhouse the middle finger because that is the most toxic environments I've been in. And then I can remember the Spotify Green Room as well. I don't know what's happened. I really don't. It's been an amazing journey for me on the show in the last 2 years. Since 2020, I started this, and I just wanted to have something that was freedom of speech and all the amazing people I've interviewed so far. It's just been a wonderful blessing, and I give my gratitude, and I'm very thankful, very thankful. But it's like in politics that we are seeing how the left, the Labor Party in Australia are just becoming so far left. It's crazy. I know Chris Minns, the Premier for New South Wales, is doing his absolute best to help with the housing crisis. Bill Shorten as well is cracking down on scammers who try scalping people's NDIS funding. It's like, for instance, these government departments, the NDIS, my aged care as well. They pretty much you're treated just like a number, and I was just sick and tired of all these stupid rules just to have a service, and it always has to be a shit fight with these government departments all the time. Why is it a shit fight with government departments? Why can't it be that they just help you out without having to complicate the stupid thing on a piece of paper that's written in such an virtually such a way where you know I don't know. You'd have to be I I don't know because the way it was written was typed in a way that was so confusing, and no wonder why people just get angry at the case workers because people are again fed up of being told a bunch of lies and bullshit. So all I can say now is just keep supporting small businesses as much as you can because small businesses have a lot to offer, and if we keep them going, that is so much more better. Uh, I know too that we live in a very fast paced world where everything is the latest and greatest. Why? Why does everything have to be the latest and greatest? It's just another way for us to become a throwaway society. That's all it is. And then you just get people really start to feel it financially as well. Guys, I'll leave it there for the show today. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Stephen Shields radio show. Turn on your notification. I publish new episodes every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Bye for now.